So this started out a single poem, and then I wanted to bookend it to past, present, and future. So I hope you enjoy it, and more specifically, I hope you let me know you enjoy it. So snap, holla, pop off, all of the above. I dreamt myself a black god for the hell of it, for the hell of the thing. I wore the rain robe to church today, funeral suit to match my skin and my people, my parishioners. No one noticed me in the back of the choir, in between the pages of the holy book, still frayed and musty from last night's waterworks. I dreamt the Leviathan then. I wept, a tearjerker, a black future walking. My steps up the arch steeple give birth to puddle, after murky sheen of puddle holes to swallow up the neighborhood children. Look, the black boy steps in the water, sucked down into the thing, to be spit back up, a bobbing head bowed. Honey, look like he praying. Honey, look like he waiting. We all were waiting for the bones to come back to us. Baptized by the thing that killed him. The wailing was tremendous then. The funeral fit right into the evening's usual programming. The swamp vicar travels like a ghost between the walls of row houses, imparts blessing after murky blessing, as the blood, fat, asphalt, and stone, and all manner of concrete swallows up the heads of men. I dreamt myself that old reverend. Not sure if I caused the calamity or just naming it. Not sure if I qualified for the job. The sanctuary walls and ceiling are all made of tin plates, sound like cracked teeth when you scrape against them. I asked God what the point of all this was, if the ashy people still turned to ashes when I wasn't looking. 4 misses go missing after a Birmingham Sunday school, their baby teeth scattered with the Bible pages. I rang the sermon out my throat, like the dish rag my grandmother used to clean my childhood knee scrapes. I dreamt myself black enough to be the devil for the hell of it, for the hell of these geography lessons. 1. My family is from North and South Carolina, seed of soil that gnaws at my ankles and sows stress into my arteries. Heart disease runs in my family. Your heart is about the size of a fist. This state makes my family hold theirs too tightly. This tried to kill us once. I don't intend to give it a second chance. 2. My uncle died in Georgia. Ashy body to ashes, heart attack. The last time my mother crossed the Susquehanna River was to pay the debt the death left. Georgia had greedy hands that day. She'd been taking too much from this bloodline. 3. My first time south is to Richmond. Felt too much like a funeral or a homecoming. Below the Mason-Dixon line, more of my family lives in caskets than houses. The humidity made my body look like it was weeping. Maybe it was. 4. I saw the smoke the Lord's work left. Smelled it 700 miles away. Cambridge, ain't that North Carolina? Was a smile with all teeth. Looked at me kind of funny like, I don't trust this. My parents warned me of her ways. Wouldn't let me go to a school down south. Wouldn't let me see stars and bars hanging. That ain't the only hanging south of the Susquehanna River. This is exactly what I think it is. 5. Harvard College. I walked into the Agassiz building for class. Donned black lab gloves. Did they say scientist? Red burn brick sit atop bones. Literally. Burnish slave master names into the foundation. Literally. How many times had the hands who built this hold a whip? My mistake. They weren't the ones building, remember? They was too busy holding the whip. Racism was a well-meaning smile, all teeth. Do they still call that shit science? Scribble it down like a fact. 5. Look, where the Lord left his good work, making well-meaning smiles on burnished Boston faces. 4. I know this campus by the buildings named after butchers. 3. I know the city by the streets I can walk safely to. I know this country by the states that don't want me dead. One, my heart was born to be a time bomb. Everybody making bets about when it's gonna blow. This is what I know it is, the North. No different from the South when it comes to these things. If a noose falls from a tree at Duke, does Harvard hear the snap? Empty rope ain't the only thing hanging here. They took that shit down quietly. Didn't want to scare nobody. Clever hearts as dark as my hands. I guess that makes us all nobodies, 'cause shit, Negroes best be scared. We left the seat of the South to bend our backs into a seat for the North. My heart was born a fist for a reason. At this rate, I'm bound to start a wildfire. Bound to burn at the stake, burn this place down. See my sweet smoke rising above every city, the Lord's work. Today, I watched the sun creep its way over the brick and mortar of the ivy gates and other associated architecture. Its hands clawing across the horizon, dragging its body of light through the yard. How many times has that shit happened before? The cow patch, its untouched grass rippling in the 1636 morning, the prayers lifted to greet it in the Newtown College Chapel. Today, at 5:50 a.m., a body was found in Baltimore again. A mother comes home to an empty house. A thing has been dragged through the yard. Black body in a black bag to be put into a black suit for the black box. My uncle was found last Christmas. A terrible transfiguration had occurred. Laid out in his living room. They only found him days after the thing. Last spring, I had 3 friends suicidal. One succeeded. I think my house is sick. I think this house is sick. Sick like dope. Dope like pills. Pills like I couldn't swallow all this shit down. Afraid I'd choke. I can't breathe. As it is, in 100 years, what are they gonna write about our bones? Harvard degree. Privileged geography, away from the Baltimore street corner, out of the Georgia summer, far from the hospital walls. Today, I counted the miracles it took to get me here. Sperm meeting egg, DNA touching DNA, a bootlegger running shit through the family farm, not caught by the cops. A mother raped by the master and not killed after. Today, I counted the hanging ghosts that done married themselves to my vertebrae, mastered the geography of my haunted spine, my pock-marked DNA. We are all just a series of these anomalies, mathematical exceptions, a pile of particles, a few good physics equations, you know, humans. I can't stop being that. I speak of life and death because we can't stop this dying shit, so let's stop this shit. In the 2636 sun, the open morning of those particles bouncing off the brick and mortar, bouncing off your particles, let them not be in mourning. Let there be no shelter in the silence, no shame in our stomachs. Let us be not afraid as we move through this valley. Let us be better.